Hi, this is Andrew Davey at Nevada Ford, and we're here with Karl Caterata, Las Vegas resident, concerned citizen, and gun violence survivor. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
So to start with, um, you have survived one notorious gun violence incident here in Nevada, and then 3 years later, you left just before another. Um, so to start with, where were you on that day in June 2014 when the two Las Vegas Metro police officers were assassinated?
Yeah. So it was. Can you hear me? Good. Okay. Sweet. So it was June 2014. I was literally coming. It was Sunday, so I came back from church. So it was a regular church day. I was doing altar serving at Prince of Peace Catholic Church. So it was me, my brother, and my mom. And we went to the Walmart just to get small necessities, whether that was like snacks or my mom's nail polish. But her, and me, all were in the store, and on that day, it was when we were in the cosmetics aisle, which is to the left of where the shooting had happened, where, yeah, we were just able to hear, we were able to witness it, but we weren't able to see it happen. But we were able to hear it happen, and we were able to escape it. So yeah.
What was it like those first moments as it first happened, and then when you realized what was happening?
So those first moments was that I didn't really know, or me and my family didn't really know what it was. We just heard a pop. We were just like a crackling noise, and it wasn't until the second gunshot, because there were three gunshots that we heard before we ran out for the exit. There were three gunshots, and it wasn't until the second one where we literally like ran out. And what was it like? It was just more so. It was just daunting to know that like something traumatizing was happening right before us, and we were hearing it happen, and having to run out with all of the other shoppers there was also just tragic.
And from my understanding, you were able to get your mom and your brother to safety, get them out of that store.
Yeah. So what happened was we were all in the cosmetics aisle, and we heard the first gunshot. We heard yelling. We heard arguing, and going to this Walmart, growing up,
Yeah.
and going to this Walmart, we've always heard yelling before. So we just thought it was like regular shopper frustration, someone just yelling at a Walmart employee. But it wasn't until we heard the male shooter. He was talking. He was just yelling or like professing at the cashier area.
Jared Miller.
Jared. And he was yelling, and the only word that I heard was like the revolution type of thing. And then it was the first gunshot, which we thought it was just like a car hitting, not car, sorry, a cart hitting like a wall or like a little the metal cashier area, or maybe one of the shelves. And it was the first gunshot that happened, that rang out. We didn't think it was anything. Second gunshot, I had pulled my mom's hand, and I had pulled my brother's hand, and we had just I had pulled them towards the emergency exit, and I just had to push the emergency exit. Fire alarm was happening, and yeah, it was just pretty much a summary of what had really happened.
Yeah, and then let's flash forward just over 3 years later. On October 1st, you were at Mandalay Bay, and you left the casino just before the Route 91 attack. Um, when did you realize that you had left the site of
There.
America's deadliest mass shooting right in the nick of time?
Um, it was it was daunting at first because I was already on the 15, on the I-15, and I was already exiting onto Charleston, and already near my exit, my partner had called me and said, "Hey, do you know what's going on?" And I was like, "No, like I don't know what's going on." And he was like, are you sure? Like something's happening on the news right now." And I was just like, is Trump doing something again? Like what's going on? Like did he tweet something? And then he was like, "No, like something's happening here. Like it's happening here in Las Vegas." And I'm like, what's happening in Las Vegas? So being over to the side, I literally like pulled up Twitter and just saw like CNN was already reporting like there was like gunshots happening at the Route 91 Harvest Festival, and just the feeling was just daunting. It was just very. It reminded me of 2014, where like that escaping type of feeling, and being in the car after. I didn't witness anything this past month, but just being in the same area just brought back those feelings of like danger from those weapons type of thing. So
Yeah, and after experiencing these two very tragic moments in Nevada history and American history, how has this affected your relationship with guns and your take on this nation's ongoing problem with gun violence?
yeah, so I'm very interested in civil rights, constitutional law. I'm still a student at UNLV, and just the fact that witnessed this in 2014, and then the Orlando shooting that happened in 2016, and this happening now, and also being there for when UNLV had its false there's a shooter on campus type of thing, where UNLV had sent out a false alarm to students. I was there at the Boys and Girls Club, and being at the Boys and Girls Club, having to get kids to shelter in place, and just a background, my family owns weapons. My extended family, the people that I identify with in the Filipino community, they also own a personal handgun. They also do hunting as well. But this, I wouldn't say it definitely changed it, because I already know that I'm very against, high magazine weapons, or whatever you would call
High capacity
it.
magazines.
High capacity magazines, or just assault weapons in general. I just feel as if that, laws need to be changed to reflect the current modern day. And, the Second Amendment being written in the 1800s doesn't reflect, assault weapons that are happening that are being able to be used in the United States. And this is just a reoccurring, problem, and, prayers and thoughts from our members in Congress are not enough. So maybe they could use those prayers and thoughts to write legislation. Maybe they could use those prayers and thoughts to potentially do something about it and take action about it, rather than having all of these other organizations in Nevada having to continuously advocate for them. So yeah, that's my take on it.